Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here with us. Today, we're going on a seriously dynamic journey through some of the day's most fascinating current affairs. We're going to bounce all the way from the absolute pinnacle of global literary awards right down into some of the most deeply hidden ecological and historical wonders of India. It's a completely packed lineup, and, well, I've got all the essential details ready to go for you. Let's get into it. Now, what do a globally celebrated book, an iridescent burrowing snake, and a massive 36-kilometer wall all have in common? I know, it sounds exactly like the setup to some weird riddle, right? But believe it or not, these three completely distinct, seemingly unrelated things are actually dominating critical headlines today. As we start connecting the dots, you're going to see exactly how they all link back to our ever-evolving understanding of global culture, biodiversity, and deep historical heritage. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, Global Literary Awards. So, the 2026 International Booker Prize goes to Taiwan Travelogue, which was translated by the incredibly talented Lin King. Now, the real beauty of this specific award, which, by the way, was established back in 2005 for translated fiction published in the UK or Ireland, is how it splits the prize money right down the middle. Half to the author, half to the translator. It beautifully honors that absolutely crucial, yet honestly often overlooked art of translation. It's just a massive win that actively promotes global literature and gets readers everywhere exploring stories from way beyond their own borders. But, Taiwan Travelogue winning in 2026 doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It actually builds on this massive wave of recent, groundbreaking success. Look at the timeline. We had India's Tomb of Sand securing the win in 2022, and then Heartlamp capturing it in 2025. These monumental victories from regional languages really paved the way on the international stage. They proved, without a doubt, that there is this massive, hungry global audience for regional storytelling, setting the perfect stage for this year's incredible champion. Moving right along, Section 2, New Biodiversity Sightings. Let's shift gears from human achievements to some wild ecology. Meet Trachisium lauremsengai. It's not every day scientists uncover a literally brand new species, but this burrowing snake was just found hiding out near the India-Myanmar border, deep inside Mizoram's Merlin National Park. This park sits right smack in the middle of the incredibly rich Indo-Burma biodiversity hotspot. And I absolutely love the backstory here. It was named after Dr. Lauremsenga to honor his major ongoing contributions to herpetology in northeast India. It's discoveries exactly like this that highlight just how ecologically crucial Mizoram's forests truly are. So what exactly makes this creature such a biological marvel? Well, it sports these incredibly smooth, iridescent scales that actively catch the light, a primarily brown body, and this highly distinctive white speckled underside. Add to that a totally unique head scale arrangement, and you've got a fascinating specimen that stands out sharply to the researchers who study the region's hidden reptilian life. Now shifting all the way down south to Kerala, we find a completely different kind of animal on the move, the rare Kashmir flycatcher. It's this tiny little passerine bird from the Muscicapiti family that usually breeds way up in the northwest Himalayas, the Kashmir region. But get this, recently it was spotted thousands of miles away in the Chamatamavaya wetlands of Kerala. This tiny little bird makes a massive migratory journey to spend the winter in the high-altitude Nilgiris in Kerala and sometimes all the way down into Sri Lanka. Here's the why it matters, though. The Kashmir flycatcher is, unfortunately, listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. And this vulnerability is driven largely by severe habitat loss and a steadily declining population. That's exactly why this recent sighting in Kerala is making such huge waves. The presence of this endemic bird underscores the absolutely critical ecological importance of Kerala's wetlands. They aren't just swamps, They are vital, irreplaceable lifelines for the survival of rare migratory birds. Following the water leads us to our final group, Section 3, Unique Geography and Heritage. Have you ever heard of Fumdis? These are massive, literal floating islands made up of vegetation, soil, and organic matter. You find them floating out on Loktak Lake in Manipur, which happens to be the largest freshwater lake in all of northeast India. And we aren't just talking about tiny patches of weeds here. These floating masses are so substantial, so solid, that they actually support fishing huts, human settlements, and incredibly rich wildlife habitats. It is a completely unique way of life built directly on top of the water. And the magic of Loktak Lake goes even further. Right within this lake sits the Cable Lomjo National Park. It is the world's only floating national park, The only one. And it serves as the irreplaceable natural habitat of the highly endangered Sangay deer. But here is where we have to face a harsh reality. Recent reports are raising some very serious alarms about pollution, shrinking fundies, and severe ecological imbalances that are threatening to destroy this delicate lake ecosystem forever. It's a really dangerous situation. Now, from fragile floating ecosystems, we are going to pivot sharply to the west, to something completely unyielding: 36. And this brilliantly illustrates our next marvel, because that massive number represents kilometers. Specifically, the 36-kilometer length of an astonishing architectural wonder. We're talking about the Kumbhalgarh Fort in Rajasthan, built way back in the 15th century by Rana Kumbha to be an absolute military powerhouse. It is majestically positioned in the Aravalli Hills as a critical stronghold of Mewar. Today, it's recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, part of the Hill Forts of Rajasthan, but its most staggering feature? That 36-kilometer wall. UNESCO surveys recently recognized it as the world's second longest surviving wall, right behind the Great Wall of China. It has more than earned its title as the Great Wall of India. So let's tie this all together. We've seen the incredible fragility of the shrinking pumdis in Manipur and the vulnerable Kashmir flycatchers seeking refuge in the wetlands of Kerala. But we've also marveled at the unyielding 15th century permanence of the Kumbhalgarh Fort. It really makes you wonder. As we uncover rare wildlife and marvel at ancient walls, how do we, as a global society, balance the immense resources needed to preserve our massive architectural heritage while simultaneously protecting vulnerable ecosystems that could literally disappear tomorrow? It's a complex puzzle for sure, and it's one we all need to start solving. Thanks for exploring with me today. I'll catch you next time.